Let's talk a little bit about grain safety around the gravity flow wagon. You see we got a green wagon here, we have a red wagon over here on this end. Both of these were common products from the Farm Safety for Just Kids organization. That organization has now dissolved, and all of their wonderful resources have all been moved over to the Progressive Agricultural Safety Days website. So all those wonderful resources are there. As far as the wagons, they were a common product there, and we're in the process now of trying to replicate these wagons, but we're still not to that point yet, because right now we're having a hard time of getting new wagons. But you may have some of these wagons around your community where people had them from previous years. I'm going to talk a little bit about some safety things that involve the wagon. One, there are times where individuals, usually children, are buried in the wagon. Sometimes the wagon is being filled, sometimes the wagon is being emptied. So we're going to pretend this bucket here of birdseed is my combine. And let's say the combine is full, they come by, they dump the combine into the wagon, and maybe it fills the wagon about half up, and then the combine's back out into the field, and the wagon is half full here. If the wagon sits close to the farmstead, maybe the little kids come out to the wagon, okay? Usually a ladder on the back side. The kids will crawl up there, jump in here, maybe they're playing around in the grain. What a wonderful day, having a wonderful time. They're playing in the wagon, and all of a sudden now the combine has filled another bin, and the combine comes back. Can the combine see the child? Can the person driving the combine see the child in the wagon? No, they can't. This is an all steel wagon. So then the combine comes by again, and the combine will start dumping the next load in here. Within a matter of seconds, that child is buried. Nobody even knows the child's in there. All right, so that's one thing we've got to worry about, is keeping the kids out of the wagon. Doesn't matter if they're being filled or emptied. So that's one direction we can talk about as far as suffocation. Some people might ask, Bernard, why do you use birdseed? Birdseed to me works the best, because with this gravity flow wagon, we have a small hole down here that we got to get the grain out of. Now popcorn works, but the popcorn comes out very slowly. Wheat works, but it's a little faster. Birdseed works better. The smaller the seed, the faster this demonstration works. So now I'm going to give you a little demonstration on how quickly that happens when the wagon is emptied. And again, a lot of times, sometimes it's the parents' fault that they let the kids ride in the wagon. Maybe the wagon is full out in the field, and they're pulling the wagon into the farmstead. Oh, kids, you want to ride in the wagon? Maybe those adults even let the kids ride in the wagon. You're teaching the kids that that's a playground. No, that's not a playground. We got to keep the kids out of there. We don't even want them in there thinking it's the right thing to do. Because what happens if that wagon now is sitting in front of the auger, the wagon's ready to be emptied, and a child maybe comes out of the house, crawls up that ladder, and they're in here, and then maybe somebody gets off of the tractor, they're coming around here to open this up. Do they even know that child's in the wagon? No. Within 3 to 5 seconds, this child is going to be buried in grain, and you're going to see very little grain is ever emptied out of this wagon. I'm going to count this out. It's going to take 3 to 5 seconds. 1001, 2, 3. About 3 seconds. Look how little of grain has been emptied out of this wagon, and the person has already gone from the top of the wagon clear down here to the bottom. Roughly 3 to 5 seconds. A lot of people don't realize this empties from the top down. It's actually a kind of a cone type of thing. The top goes right into the center, and it empties from the top down. So within 3 to 5 seconds, you have a person that started up here on top. Another quick look right here. 1001, 1002, 1003, and they're gone. All right, So that's one, and again, all of these are hands-on activities that the kids can do at their safety day. Gravity flow wagons. Some people, if you don't have a gravity flow wagon, you can use a milk jug. This is a ½ gallon. I like using a gallon milk jug. Cut the bottom of the milk jug off. You can scoop this up, fill this up with grain. You can put your person up on the top of that grain and then just open the lid like this and take it off, and the grain will go right down out of the milk carton right into your bucket. So again, a very cheap hands-on activity, and you can use just a gallon milk jug. And it can also serve as a wagon, or you can also exemplify a grain bin by using that. So that's why I have that prop sitting there on the table, just letting people know how easy it is. Let's talk a little bit about the grain bin. They talk a little bit about grain bin safety. And again, I mentioned here how the grain goes from the top to the bottom. And so I'm not going to fill this whole thing with seed, because you're going to get an idea of what happens right here. But let's say our farmer had to get in here for some reason, and they're in here and they're maybe in the middle of the bin. Maybe something was broke, or maybe there was a lot of trash in there. The farmer gets in the middle, and at a safety day, we have the kids show just how quickly that person goes from the top of the bin to the bottom of this bucket in just a matter of seconds. I'm going to pull this trap door out, which opens the trap door at the bottom, and I think the microphone's going to pick up the noise, how quickly that person goes from the top of the bin to the bottom of this bucket. And it happens that quick. So stay out of the grain bins. Not a playground. It's not a place to play. So these are just some hands-on activities that you can do at your safety day and get the kids involved. All of these are hands-on. The grain bin, gravity flow wagons, tug of war, and we really enjoy having the kids up here hands-on, getting them involved. We also want to thank Dr. Bill Field from Purdue University for generating a lot of discussion of the importance of keeping the kids out of the grain. There's really no reason to put kids in the grain to do grain safety demonstrations. We can involve the kids with a hands-on activity, but we don't need to put the kids in the grain. So thank you, Dr. Field, for leading the discussion on that. But all of these are things that you can do at a Progressive Agriculture Safety Day.